Hi everyone, and it's 5 o'clock, and welcome to Monday Digital Moment, where we get together here on Facebook and over here, hi Instagram, on Instagram, and I bring to you tips and tricks that I have learned from blogging, and I'm running a life and style blog called Forward 40, and just all the things that I have learned that I want to share with you and give you all this free information. So in case you're interested in starting your own blog, you can do it too, and you don't have to feel that there is any kind of rocket science to it. So if you're here and if you're silently watching, let me know that you're here. Facebook, is anybody watching? Don't forget, if you are, to just press the love button so that I know that you're there, or the like button. And if you're on Instagram, you do the same so I can say, okay, somebody joined. So I have Luis Batiste, and a lot of people are joining us on Instagram. Thank you so much for being here. And on Facebook, thank you. For those of you who don't know me, I am Judette, and I run a life and style blog called Forward 40, where I provide information, stories, articles, videos, photographs, and how women can grow more beautiful and successful as they age. And I also help businesses, large and small, succeed in the digital space by helping them create compelling content. So today I really wanted to do something completely different, in the sense that I have not done it before. Oh, Barbados is here. Welcome, Barbados. I'm so glad that you joined us. And I wanted to do something completely different because I wanted to answer the questions that you always ask me about the blog. And so I took down 5 top questions. There were many more, but I don't think we have time to go. Youthful Vegan, welcome. Thank you for being on Instagram and joining us. I wanted to just take 5 and go through them as quickly as possible and share with you what we have learned as we have undertaken this really successful journey of blogging. So let me get right to it if I can. So the first question that I was asked, and that I get asked a lot, is how do you support yourself financially? That's a really good question, because it's not just me, right? I have a team of people. So I pay salaries every single month to my fantastic team. So it is really important for us to be fiscally sound. But in the beginning, so the blog forward40.com is about a year and a half. So we're about, Chantal, about 16, 17 months old. And for the first year, it was completely self-funded. Now, I absolutely don't come from rich parents. But I remember when I was 16 years old, I was watching Oprah Winfrey at the time. And of course, at that time, I wasn't working. But she said something phenomenal that changed my perspective on everything. She said that you must pay yourself first. And when I heard that, I was getting an allowance from my dad. And let's say that allowance was $10 every single week. So if I wanted to buy a skirt or a dress or a book, I loved books and still do. If I wanted to buy a book and that book costed $8, I shouldn't buy the book first. I should pay myself first. I should put $2 or $1 away in a box. I used to save money in a box. So you can imagine having started saving when I was 16 and running a successful PR agency and handling really complex campaigns. I was able to save 10% or more every single time that I got money or I won a contract, or at 16 to 23 at university. I just saved and saved and saved. And that's what I used during the first year of Forward 40. It's not that I won a lottery. It's not that I got an inheritance. It's not that my parents, they have both passed, gave me money. I actually self-funded Forward 40 myself. So somebody, Nicole Green, great to see you too, Nicole. I'm so glad you're here. And somebody loves my ring. It's my favorite ring. You will see me wearing this all the time. Hi, Sita. You're on Facebook, so I'm glad you're here. Don't forget, if you have any questions, so please ask them. We're talking about blogging today. So I was going back to that story of Oprah and learning how to save and then using the money that I had saved since I was 16 to now to fund it. But of course, that is so not sustainable because no matter how much money you have, it always runs out. So we had to quickly find a way to understand what we were about and how to make money from blogging. And if you go right now to forward40.com and you click on Work With Us, you will see a drop down that contains the ways that we work with various brands. And I'll get to that some more a little bit later on. So how do I support myself financially and that of my team? It's by developing projects. It's by working with brands. We're working on several different projects. I'll get to that soon. And it's all about understanding who you are, what you're about, what product and services you offer to the world, what are your unique gifts, and what your customers, your audience, and your followers want from you. Because I think what blogging allows more than ever is to build a great sense of trust with you and your audience. And when you have that trust, if you are going to sell something that you understand that they need, they are going to buy from you first rather than anyone else. So I think blogging allows us to tell stories that resonate, and once they resonate, people are willing to support you. So Jewel, thank you for joining us on Facebook. We're glad you're here. You were here last week, and I'm so glad you came back for all the great content. We're talking about blogging, and we're doing something. If you just joined us, somebody asked, how do you come up with your blog topics? That's a great question, Nicole, and actually it's so popular, it made I have all the questions here. It made the list because somebody asked, it's question number 5, so you have to stay tuned for that. Where do all your ideas come from? But the second question that I wanted to address, and Melissa is asking, I always wanted to blog, but, and she doesn't have what the but is, but hopefully in some of these questions, we will get to answering some of the buts. So how do you gain followers? Now, in the year and a half, we have been so overwhelmed by the love, and overwhelmed in a good way. So on Facebook, we're over 35,000 followers. On our blog platform itself, we're approaching 3,000 subscribers. So we have Instagram, we're slowly growing because our mothership is really our blog with subscribers and our Facebook platform. And that's where we focus a lot of content on, although we are on Instagram. As you can tell, I'm on Instagram Live here. But for us, well, first of all, let me tell you how people normally gain followers. So they do collaborations. So collaborations is a great way to gain followers because if you can align your content with that of another blogger who probably has more subscribers than you do, and you can work closely together with that collaborator, it's more than likely you will get followers from that particular collaboration that you did. So I hope that makes sense. Another way that you can grow your audience is just by tagging people with your various posts and your various material that you're taking from your blog and putting onto your social channels. Because the more people that you tag, your friends or the people who you think are interested in the topic, the more people, their friends, will see your post and you're likely to get traction. I would tell you how we have done it is that we produce consistent content every single day. Not every single week, not every single month, but every single day we produce an amazing amount of content. So whether that content is a blog post, an article, whether it is a photograph, whether it is a tweet stream, whether it's a Facebook Live, whether it's an Insta story, we are doing it all. And we produce consistent content that's timely, that's relevant, and we always try to have good quality content. And So it means that our content has to resonate with the audience. So whenever you see an image, you know that it's going to be of high quality. Whenever you read a blog post, you know that it's going to fulfill 300 or more words because that's more SEO friendly. The other thing, as we're on the topic of SEO, I work with this phenomenal web developer. His name is Earl, and he's from Covis. And he has been guiding us through SEO and understanding SEO strategy. So when you see our blog posts, we use keywords. It's linked. Our photographs, they all have keywords in it. So whenever somebody is searching for a particular topic, we're pushing and pushing and pushing ourselves up into the algorithm so we're more easily seen than most. It is a consistent, hard, laborious process, but we do it because we believe that the content we do is amazing, and we believe that we have this unique gift that we can offer the world. So we don't think of our market as necessarily Trinidad and Tobago. We think of this as our home and our ground upon which we can export our content to the world. So how we gain followers is just by producing exceptional content and then SEOing that content so we are easily found. And if you have any questions on that, please ask me, because I'm here. We're talking blogging. And so Jewel is saying, Melissa just said, I never know how to gain followers. So that was your question, Melissa. So I hope we kind of explained it well. It's all about the content that you post and being timely about it. And don't forget, we have other posts on this particular topic, how to build your content, how to build your stories, and that's going to help you understand how to get followers. And Sita, I think you asked a question, but right now it's right down. You're welcome, Melissa. And here on Instagram, welcome the studio. Hopefully we're doing a collaboration with the studio. Talking about collaboration, we're doing a collaboration with Rachel Talamac and the Salon de Beauté, and I hope I pronounced that correctly. And we're hoping that by collaborating, she's going to get some of our followers going over to her platform, particularly when it comes to women who are interested in skincare and beautiful skin as they age. And we get to have some of her audience. So you see how it works. I hope that helped. Welcome, Juliet Prescott, and welcome, I think it's Hermes. Welcome, everyone. I'm so glad that you're here. The third question, and I really have 5 to get through, is, ooh, this one is a good one. This one is a really good one. This one actually came from a conference I was speaking at, and somebody asked me, what are some of my biggest challenges as a blogger? And I would say making money. But really, all jokes aside, when we first started blogging, it was almost as if brands did not know how to work with digital influencers. I feel as if it was a wall, right? And it was a wall that we had to knock down. In the Caribbean, it's really very difficult, not difficult. It's extremely different from the North American or the European, the way they do things there. So we, of course, started monetizing our brand through affiliate marketing. And if you don't know what that is really becoming, let's say, an Amazon reseller or a Pepper Jam network reseller. And what those platforms want is that they want to know that you drive traffic to your blog. So if you recommend something, people see it and they buy it. And of course, we qualified because we have over 100,000 people every single week going to, I hope you didn't see my armpits, did you? Sorry, Instagram. We have over 100,000 people going to our blog every single week because of the content that we share. And so we decided, let's try it. But we were an utter and dismal failure at it. So we really had to go and dig deep and do a lot of soul searching to understand what we were about, what you wanted to see, and what you wanted to to get from us in terms of product and services. And it was really a lot of hard work because we had so many ideas and there was so much stuff that we wanted to do. So our team, we did several different huddles. I slept, I got up, and it was all that I could think about, and then it clicked. It clicked. We came to know not only what we could offer to the world, but how we could make money and monetize our content so that we could become a sustainable brand. And so some of the things, a social content studio, we are doing a television show, and more on that later. We are producing the world's first social media planner. Yes, there are content planners out there, but nothing like what this is going to be like. And a slew of other digital products that you can access online, because again, we don't consider our microcosm where we are as our market. We consider the world as our market. So really it is understanding your brand and what products you have to offer and what price points you're going to offer them. I mean, digital marketing sometimes is no different from any other ordinary marketing. It's about the people, the product, the placement, right? And the process. And it's really understanding those P's, I call them P's, and applying that to the digital space. So I hope, any questions on that? Let me see. Why are we viewing from the side? Oh, I think because we have 3 cameras, and we'll get better at this as we go along, I promise. We have Facebook, and then we have this camera because, of course, we have to get the audio onto our blog. And then we have Instagram here, so I think you're suffering a little bit. I'm so sorry. I promise you, next week we're going to do better, so please bear with us. We're also on Facebook where I'm facing forward, but I'm going to try. I hope this is better. Is this better? Yanni, is it Yanni? Is this better? I hope so, and I can just literally kind of switch from side to side. And as I said, I promise we'll get better next week. So my next question is, how many people do you have on your team? So I have a full-time staff of what, 5? So I have a content strategist, a videographer, an accountant, a graphic designer, and then we bring in these 2 amazing people, Romano and Earl, to help us when we're doing web development. And of course, Romano is our director of photography on our videos, and he's just amazing. But one thing I want to tell you is that when I started blogging, a year and a half ago, well, Forward 40 blogging, because I blogged way before Forward 40. And that platform was what, 5 a.m. at Mango Media Caribbean. So when I started Forward 40, it was just me. It was Miguel, and he was doing as well the camera work, but it was literally me writing, editing, storyboarding, getting the props, changing all the clothes, taking the selfies, posting it. And I think when you speak to bloggers, that's their fundamental journey. So hold on, how can I join the Forward 40 organization? Just love what you guys are doing. So inspiring. Thank you, Lisa. All you have to do is to head over to the blog and join us at forward40.com and subscribe by entering your first name and your email address, and you will be part of the community. We're also on Instagram and on Facebook, as you know. But to get back to the people on the team, most of the bloggers that you love on YouTube or their digital spaces began alone in their bedroom. They would have a full-time job, and they would come back and they would work. And it really is about dedication. So you see them with big teams now, but they absolutely, unless they had like super wealthy parents, they absolutely started with nothing. A computer, a Wi-Fi connection, and a dream and an idea. And that's exactly how I started as well too. When we're growing slowly, it takes a lot of work, it's a lot of commitment, it's a lot of time, but we're growing slowly, and I'm so excited about what we have coming up. I also wanted to say to you 2 things about your team. When you're growing a team, what you want to make sure is that your team members have multiple skill sets. So for instance, Miguel is good with a camera, but he's great with gadgets. So he's able to set up platforms, he's able to work on cameras. He's able to do things that require a lot of technological know-how. Chantal is great with all the visual layouts. You would notice that we're looking different today than we did about a year and a half ago. And that's because she came in and she had this fantastic awareness of how to make our spreads just look so beautiful. And I love her for that. But she's also the one behind the camera. So sometimes all those photographs that you see, it's because of her work. And Earl, who is not part of the staff, but he's a web developer who built our site, but we go to him for information on how to get better at SEO. And like we're launching the social media platform social media planner, in October, November, and we're going to him with regard to looking at how we can use SEO in our marketing strategy. So it's really important to have people on a small team who can do multiple different things. Any questions? Thank you, Yanni, for being so patient with me and the sideway views. I'm so sorry. So Leslie Ann is saying, hi, Judette. I love your passion. I am trying to learn as much from you as I try to launch my first business idea. Grace and peace be multiplied onto you and to you, Leslie Ann. Grace and peace to you, and success and planning and collaborating and bravery and courage, because really that is what it takes to start anything. I'm doing a blog and I'm basing a business on a blog. You may be opening a consultancy practice or a food business, or you may have been great with doing something with your hands and you're saying, I'm going to leave my job and I'm going to head out and I'm going to do this. So it requires bravery, and it's never a great time to jump any ship. I know that. I have jumped many in my lifetime, but you will know when it feels, even though it's scary, you know the moment when you have to. So good luck with that, Leslie Ann, and I'm so glad that you're here. So Nicole said, SEO, is that search engine optimization? Absolutely. It is both an art and a science. And it's something that you have, if you really want to stand out on your blog, you have to learn it and you have to practice it and you have to implement it on your blog for it to grow. Because, I said this in my social media planner, unless you are doing this for fun, unless you are doing all this hard work with your blog for fun, then you might as well know about SEO. And doing it for fun, it's okay if that's your objective. But if you're really trying to grow a business, you have to be able to know SEO. And search engine optimization is what that means. Okay, so the last question. Nicole, you're going to love this one because this is exactly the question you asked earlier. Nicole asked me, and so have many other people, where do my ideas come from? My ideas are sparked by a conversation. I could go running and I could see and be inspired by a view, and I snap a picture and all of a sudden that becomes a story, or it becomes a color theme for a styled spread that I'm doing, or it influences the visuals for a blog post. My ideas are sparked if I go out with my friends and I go to a fashion show, or I go to a concert, or I go to a museum. It is sparked by my travels. We're going to be heading out to South Africa pretty soon. So it's sparked by travel, it's sparked by conversations, it's sparked, guess who by? It's sparked by you, and it's sparked by you, because your feedback gives me the inspiration to go and have the ideas. Sometimes they're born from my head and my heart and my gut and my stomach and from my entire being. And sometimes they come from you because you also give me ideas and you tell me what you want to see more of. We look at metrics as well to see where we should be focusing our content. So for instance, last week we did a fantastic piece on skincare. We did 2 pieces on skincare, and we had no idea that so many people were interested in the topic. And that gave us further inspiration to do more topics on skincare. And so we're looking at doing natural skincare, doing skincare from just taking out ingredients from your kitchen cupboard, or of course our partnership with Rachel Talamac. We're going to explore that some more. So ideas, I'm really inspired by the life that I live and the friendships that I have and the newspapers that I read and the travels that I take and the pain that I feel. Sometimes great stories are born in deep disappointment. And I think that's how I am inspired. I hope that answered your question, Nicole. And if you have any more, please leave them here. Okay, so that was a great question. Thank you, Yanni. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Let's see what's going on here on Facebook. Any other questions? Please don't forget to let me know. So Instagram seems to be more alive than Facebook today, which was the opposite last week. And I really wanted to end this session by talking about the things that you need to become a successful blogger. I get asked that question a lot, so I wanted to end today's Monday Digital Moment by looking at the things that you need to become a successful blogger. And the first thing that you need is, of course, a blog. That sounds almost silly. It sounds like, of course, you must have a blog, but you know, a lot of people are on micro-blogging platforms. So whether that's Instagram, which is very visually driven, or whether it's Tumblr, or whether it is tweeting. So these micro-blogging platforms allow one form of content. And that's fantastic. And you can grow a phenomenal audience that way. But in fact, if you're doing that alone, you're not a blogger because you don't have a blog. Instagram is not a blog. Twitter is not a blog because it only allows you to do content creation in a very minimal way. A blog allows you to lay out information, to design information, to use graphic design, to submit video, to tell a story in a really cohesive fashion. So if you want to be a blogger, you have to have a blog. I hate how I say my THs, but that's just part of who I am. Another something that you have to have is you have to have visuals, right? So in this world where you're so inundated with information and you're inundated with so many people sharing things and all the information that you're reading and you're seeing and you're consuming, it's really important, I believe, to have great visuals. And I think great visuals lend to the cohesive nature of your story. So that's pretty critical. So I would think that if you want to get into blogging seriously, go to creativelive.com. That's the place where I learned. I am no model. I am, but guess what? On Creative Live, I learned what was my best angle. And I learned how to pose. And I learned that, for instance, if you take your hand away from your body like this, your hand looks slimmer. Does mine look slimmer? I don't know, but I do that all the time. And so Creative Live is this wonderful platform. There are free courses. You can pay for courses. It's relatively cheap. And you can learn all sorts of things about photography and layouts and doing a proper selfie and branding. All of these things which are so necessary for your blog to grow. And something else that I think is really important, if you're short on time, blogging is not for you. Because when you're blogging, you're engaging the world and you're engaging with your followers. And your followers are going to share, and you're going to share it on your various platforms. And they're going to ask you questions and they're going to want to know. And you are going to have to be engaged. And if you have to do this in a way that brings you a sustainable income or fulfillment, you're going to have to do it almost on a weekly, daily, monthly basis. And that's a lot of work. So you have to have time. You have to dedicate the time. Somebody said creativelive.com. Yes, Nicole, it is creativelive.com, where you can find a slew of courses. I'm actually going to be doing a blog. or the great platforms that we use to get free templates or pay a little bit of money to save us a heap of work. The last thing, and this is my point, the last thing, if you want to have a successful blog, you're going to have to be willing to bat outside of your crease. And but by that I mean you simply have to be able to step outside your comfort zone. And I, for instance, I'm comfortable, I'm writing, I'm great with words, I'm great in front of a television camera, that's my training. But I'm not so comfortable taking pictures, and I'm not comfortable posing. I mean, that for me, and especially when my friends started to tell me or ask me if I was absolutely crazy. And so when my friends saw me doing this, they thought, oh my gosh, is she having some kind of crisis? And I wasn't. I just feel as if you have to be true to who you are, and you have to be authentic, and you have to, remember that we're just here in this one life. And if you have multiple passions, how dare you say no to them? How dare you not commit to fulfilling your best life because you're following your dream or you're following your passion? I can be an executive running a successful PR agency, and I can model clothes on my life and style blog. And both of those persons, they reside in me. And you really have to not care what people think. You really have to have thick skin, because there will always be criticism. There will always be people who are willing to tear you down rather than lift you up. And I really believe that it's all about authenticity and being true to who you are and understanding really what you're about and going after it.